Oh, thank God my model was only like that for 10 minutes. Hello, welcome back to Peace Storm. I am Pluvius Lilon, and today we're playing Danganronpa Ved Thread. And when we last left off, it basically turned out that that Maki might be the culprit. It's basically confirmed Kaito's dead, but yeah. Whew. Alright, catching my breath. I went downstairs for a glass of water. Like, I just finished recording the last episode, went downstairs for a glass of water, came right back up, started on this one. But yeah, let's get started. Don't tell me, are you really the culprit? There's no way she is, 'cause why would she kill Kaito? Nyeh, I can't understand if you don't explain anything. Maki is still fighting. Huh? Fighting? Do you remember that Maki said she would do anything to defeat Kokichi? Maki's trying to kill Kokichi in this class trial. She wants to kill the mastermind, a remnant of despair. Then when Maki said she would sacrifice anything, she meant... The sacrifice that Maki is talking about must be... all of us. She plans to sacrifice all of our lives in order to kill Kokichi. Sacrifice us? Then by hiding the truth, Maki was trying to get us to arrive at the wrong answer. Just to kill Kokichi and the rest of us along with him. So doesn't that mean Maki's the culprit? She knew what happened and tried to hide it from us. But that mischievous plan was ruined all thanks to Shuichi here. Too bad, Maki. I already predicted this would happen. You knew all along that Maki was the culprit. That's why you've been so calm. This isn't over. Maybe we do have the truth now, but this isn't over. We have a choice to make. We don't have to follow where the evidence leads. Huh? What do you mean? Does this mean you're gonna vote for someone else even if it's not the truth? Someone else? You mean vote incorrectly on purpose? What did you say? Kaito told me that I would only be able to grasp what lies beyond the truth. That means finding out the truth isn't enough. We need to grasp the hope just beyond it. So Maki, please tell us the truth. The truth that only you know. So Kaito said that to you. Then, does that mean you guys made up before he died? Yeah, when I went to see him yesterday. I see. Okay, I'll talk about it. Especially since it's my responsibility for involving everyone. Shuichi, you're so persistent. Were you always like that? You think so? Maybe Kaito's charisma is starting to rub off on me. That guy could be pretty stubborn. Then, what really happened? Maki, please tell us. Please. And so, Maki began telling the truth. A truth that would leave us all in shock. Don't just start narrating things. You're ruining the mood. Well, I guess this turn of events isn't exactly boring either. And, as per usual, I cut off the episode right before the intermission. Oh well. We're in it now. In it to win it. No, yeah, I'm still not fully convinced that I'm headed toward a good ending, so I'll save in a separate slot. Rather start the whole rather start the trial over than the whole damn chapter. And then the Monokuma and Cubs theater segment began. But with all the Mono Cubs destroyed, this segment was no longer possible. And so the curtain quickly fell.
The flashback light became the motive. When Kokichi remembered that he was a remnant of despair, I planned to kill him. I thought that if I killed him, this game, and the battle between hope and despair, would end. I was confident in my talent as an assassin. I knew I would be able to do it.
We've tried to end this killing game before, but...
We were naive.
Huh?
That's what I thought. I knew Kokichi would take advantage of my naivete simply because it's in him.
Maki totally gets me.
That's why I needed to settle it myself. I took the poison arrows and the crossbow and broke into the hangar with an exisal. But when I entered the hangar, I saw something I never expected. Kaito and Kokichi were fighting each other. Kokichi was shot in the arm with a crossbow arrow, probably by Kaito when he fought back. Both of them stopped and looked at the exisal, most likely surprised by my sudden appearance. Kokichi immediately took out his remote and attempted to control the exisal I was in. I jumped out of the exisal before he could, and shot Kokichi in the back with an arrow. That should have been enough to stop him, since the arrow was coated with poison.
The Strike 9 poison, correct? But why pick that particular poison? Some of the poisons in my lab were far more lethal.
I wanted Kokichi to confess his true intentions before he died, and find out why he was always lying and tried to confuse us.
What do you mean?
If he was the mastermind, it would have been easier for him to hide in the shadows, right? He could have made it seem as if the late Junko was secretly behind this killing game. That way he could reveal himself as the surprise mastermind to liven up the game. Because of his suspicious actions, anyone would already suspect him as the mastermind. Especially with that message in the courtyard. Kokichi said it was a hint, but was it necessary for him to go out of his way just for a hint? As a remnant of despair, I imagine he wanted to feel the despair of his plan being thwarted. I think that if he wanted the thrill, he would have carried out the plan carefully. So when his carefully laid out plans goes...
Let me try again.
So when his carefully laid out plan goes to waste, he would be in utter despair.
Yeah, that's a good point. Maki must have wanted to hear it directly from Kokichi himself.
But it was pointless. I was a fool for thinking I could have a serious talk with him.
What are you talking about? Remnants of despair? What's that? I don't understand anything you're saying. But anyway, why are you starting up the killing game when it should have ended? You already know it's all meaningless. That I'm the mastermind. Do you love killing that much?
Shut up, you asshole. I realized it was pointless to continue the conversation, so I shot the final arrow. But then... What?
Kaito protected Kokichi? Why? Why would Kaito protect Kokichi?
At that moment, my mind went blank. I knew I had to do something about the poison. I rushed to Shuichi's research lab for the antidote.
So you didn't have the antidote with you at the time?
I used strychnine poison to torture Kokichi for info, but I planned to kill him from the start.
That's so mean.
But that was my first mistake. Because of that.
You what?
I ended up killing Kaito. When I returned with the antidote, the hangar shutter had been closed. I assumed it was Kokichi's doing, but because of that, I couldn't enter the hangar anymore. I needed to give Kaito the antidote somehow, so I went to the bathroom window. Kaito, can you hear me? Quick, drink this antidote. After calling out to him, I chucked the antidote through the bathroom window. Kaito noticed it and grabbed the antidote. But Kokichi stole it from him.
Sorry, but I can't die here. Since I'm the mastermind of this killing game.
Wait, there's only one antidote.
No, you don't have to worry about Kaito. He fulfilled his dream, right? He already went to space.
Damn it! Stop!
Whew, I feel so much better. I guess that's a wrap. Or maybe not, because now another class trial's gonna start.
Class trial?
You'll be the Blacken for this case, you know. The Blacken who killed Kaito.
I killed?
Shut it. Screw the class trials. Like hell am I gonna let you have your way.
Kaito, why did you protect Kokichi? If you didn't help him, then...
I couldn't help it. Even if it's Kokichi, I can't have you kill anybody.
What?
Aw, Kaito wasn't protecting me. He was protecting Maki. The situation just got way worse, huh? Maki's gonna become the Blacken responsible for killing you, all because you protected me. Don't you worry, Makiro. I'm not gonna die that easily. Just leave it to me. I'll put an end to this killing game. You're still full of energy, even like that. You really are not boring. What? I want to see what a dying Kaito can do. So show me what you've got. I won't meddle with your plans.
What are you...
Don't mind me. Run, Makiro. Just hurry up and run. Run. And live. You gotta live.
But I refuse to give up. I tried to enter the hangar by breaking the control panel with my knife. In the end, I couldn't.
So that's where the marks on the control panel came from, huh?
After that, I returned to the bathroom window once more, but I didn't see anyone. The bathroom door was closed. I called out, but neither Kaito nor Kokichi answered. I couldn't do anything anymore. All I could do was leave. That's when I made up my mind. As the Blacken who killed Kaito, I would kill Kokichi during this class trial, in exchange for all of your lives.
So that's what happened.
Then Kokichi, knowing what he knew, still helped Maki cover up her crime.
Was that why you smushed Kaito in the hydraulic press? Kaito wanted Maki to be spotless. As his friend, I felt obliged to help him.
How dare you make fun of him? You call yourself a friend? You enjoy watching us suffer? You fucking asshole.
Oh, Maki's so scary. Good thing I'm in this exisal. pretty sure Maki would have already killed me if I was out there in the flesh. So, what are everyone's plans now? With the truth out here in the open, who are you guys gonna vote for? You can vote for me, but if you do, we'll all die together. Or vote for Maki and live. Well, choose whichever you want. I don't care either way. Why are you so calm? Your life depends on this too. Who cares? Just choose already. Come on, who are you gonna vote for? No, we can't vote yet. We don't have the whole truth. This case isn't over. Thank you for telling us everything, Maki. Thanks to you, I finally understand. There's another hidden truth within your testimony.
A hidden truth?
Yes, I'm positive. Because there's something wrong with the testimony you've given us. The part of Maki's testimony that doesn't add up. Yeah, Kaito protecting Kokichi. The part about Kaito protecting Kokichi.
You're going to doubt Kaito's actions?
Maki said she used a knife to try to break the control panel and enter the hangar. But that doesn't make sense, because there's an alarm system on the shutter. Oh yeah, the alarm should have gone off if someone got too close to the shutter.
I was too focused to notice at the time, but now that you mention it, it is odd.
Maybe the sensor just missed her. Nah, the security there isn't that sloppy. If a shady person got near the shutter, the alarm would have gone off without question.
Then why didn't the alarm go off?
Like I told you, this isn't over. There's still a hidden truth to find. That's right. There must be some kind of reason behind all these oddities. Finding that reason will help us find the hidden truth. Okay, 100% certainty. That sounds like it could be a sus statement. Okay. Turned on a special setting. It seemed like the alarm system itself was working perfectly. So what can we learn from that? Let's see, it's protected by an electric barrier, and if someone tries to approach it, the alarm will sound throughout the academy. The alarm can be disabled with the alarm remote. The control panel for the electric barrier is next to the shutter. This has marks on it as though it were struck by something sharp. Bam! I had a feeling it was the electro bomb. There is a way to disable the alarm system. An electro bomb could take it down.
But Maki only had one bomb, and she used it during the raid this morning.
Then the only other person who could have used one is Kokichi, right? Huh? Why would I use an electro bomb? I had no reason to shut off the alarm, right? I'd be at a disadvantage if I did that. I guess so. I can't come up with a reason why Kokichi would want to cut the alarm. But we know that the alarm system was neutralized. It had to be. In that case, then... I've got it. Disabling the alarm system wasn't the real objective. What? The main objective of Kokichi using an electro bomb was... to disable the... no. Keep Kibo away, maybe? Maybe it has something to do with Kibo. I remember that the electro bomb hurt him.
The electro bomb may have been the reason I wasn't feeling well. But that wasn't because I'm a robot. I had an allergic reaction, you see.
Perhaps Kokichi was trying to knock out the remote control.
If that's why, then only Kokichi would have been at a disadvantage, right? We were being very cautious of the exosouls.
I guess it was to disable the safety function. It was to deactivate the safety function on the press.
Deactivate the safety function?
The electro bomb wouldn't have just taken down the alarm system. It would also have disabled the hydraulic press's safety function. It's true, but why would he do that? There's only one reason that anyone would want to do that. And if I'm right, it means that we've been thinking about this all wrong.
All wrong?
What aspect of this case runs contrary to the new evidence? What piece of evidence is called into question with the safety function turned off? Kaito's cause of death.
What?
If the electro bomb was used while Maki was trying to deliver the antidote, maybe Kaito didn't die by poison. It could be something else entirely. Yes, the cause of death could now be... the hydraulic press. Kaito could have been killed by the press after all. What? He could have? If the safety was off, the press could have crushed Kaito while he was still alive.
Right after I threw the antidote, I tried to open the shutter. So Kaito should have still been alive. And if he was crushed by the hydraulic press after that, then we have our cause of death.
If that's the case, it would mean the one who killed Kaito wasn't Maki. It would be whoever was operating a hydraulic press, Kokichi. I see. Very impressive. The hydraulic press could have been the cause of death. But that's just a possibility. What do you mean? It's possible that I killed Kaito with the press, but there's no way to know. Kaito's death could have been either the poison arrow or the hydraulic press. Both causes are possible, but you'll never be able to determine it. No matter what. No matter what? That's not true. We can probably solve this mystery too. Right, Shuichi? Is it really possible to determine Kaito's actual cause of death? Was Kaito's cause of death the poisoned arrow or the hydraulic press? Is it possible to tell? I guess so. No. There's no evidence that determines the cause of death absolutely. Huh? Shuichi? It can't be... I don't want to accept it either. I don't want to believe it, but... I hate to admit it, but Kokichi is right. We have no way to prove the cause of death. What did you say? You can't check the body, and you don't have any conclusive evidence. You can't deduce any more from here on out. There's no way to know what happened. But I know, because I was actually involved. So that's what you were trying to do. You were trying to commit an unsolvable murder. Do you finally get it? Yep, that was my plan. The gimmick of this murder wasn't an unknown victim, but rather an unknowable culprit. No one understands but me. Only I know the answer. There's no more room for deduction here. Choose the culprit with your own intuition.
Intuition?
Are you troubled? I'm sure robots don't have intuition, right? But there's nothing you can do about it. This isn't how the trial goes. This is just how the trial goes. So, who's the culprit? Maki or me? The heart-racing excitement as the blackened and the spotless face off. It's voting time! Shit. Yeah, I'm gonna vote for Kokichi just because. Fuck him. Hey, that's my line. I'm the one who decides when it's voting time. Come on. No one's gonna figure out the truth. Let's just vote already. This won't be a problem, right, Monokuma? 'Cause you know who the culprit is, don't you? Just like you always do. Yes, of course. Yeah? What kind of reaction is that? The culprit, you say? Yes, of course I know.
Why do you seem so flustered?
Flustered? Me? What are you talking about? What's going on with Monokuma right now? Monokuma, do you not know who the culprit is either? Huh? What do you mean I don't know? What don't I know, huh?
You don't know, do you?
What does this mean? Why doesn't Monokuma know who the culprit is? Monokuma doesn't know who the culprit is either? If Monokuma doesn't know, what does that tell us about this case? Wait, this case? Yes, that's it. So that's what Kokichi's real objective was. Huh? What are you talking about? Kokichi wasn't just trying to commit a murder that we couldn't figure out. He was trying to commit a murder that Monokuma couldn't figure out either.
A murder Monokuma couldn't figure out?
But what's the point of that? Kokichi's the one who's controlling Monokuma. But consider how many elements of this case will be cleared up. Prior to this case, Monokuma always knew the specific details of each crime, right? That must mean he was using some way of monitoring us.
Perhaps there are hidden cameras, strategically placed to avoid our detection.
I can't say for certain, but he must be keeping watch somehow. Kokichi probably used the electro bomb to scramble whatever that was. The electro bomb would prevent any cameras from sending video wirelessly.
Which means it wouldn't matter where the surveillance cameras were hidden.
Like I said, what's the point? Kokichi's the one controlling Monokuma. Before we determine that for sure, I want to make one thing clear. If the objective were to create a crime that would stump Monokuma, the Exisals... Yes, the Exisals weren't protecting Monokuma, they were... watching him, weren't they? They were watching Monokuma. Watching him? Yes, remember what Monokuma said earlier in the investigation? Oh, at that time, the Exisals were on autopilot and directed to only observe me. If they were protecting him like bodyguards, they wouldn't have been facing him. They would have been scanning the area, watching us. But they weren't. That implies they weren't watching us, they were watching him. They were trying to make sure that Monokuma wouldn't go near the crime scene.
That reminds me, before I stole an Exisal, all 4 units were focused on Monokuma. That's why when I stole one to enter the hangar, the other 3 didn't pursue me.
So Monokuma must have been talking about Maki. Even if it puts someone at a disadvantage, the class trial must always be fair. The person who shared that info with me didn't seem interested in sharing it with you guys. So you share it instead. That way it'll be fair to all the participants. She didn't want to share that information because it would have linked her to the murder. In which case, it could only be Maki.
You're right. So, to summarize this discussion, Kokichi used the electro bomb in the hangar and the exisouls to watch Monokuma, thereby creating a scenario in which Monokuma has no idea who the culprit is.
I told you there's no point. Kokichi's the one who's controlling Monokuma. No, Kokichi might not be controlling Monokuma at all. What? But Kokichi's the mastermind, right? Shouldn't he be controlling Monokuma? Kokichi might not be the mastermind. What? Remember that the only reason we think that is because Kokichi told us. Monokuma hasn't said a word about that. It's possible that Kokichi is just lying to us. No way I lied. I'm definitely controlling Monokuma. The mastermind of the killing game is totally me. The one who pitted humanity's last survivors against each other is all me, baby. That's right. He's a remnant of despair. How'd we forget that? That doesn't necessarily mean that he's the mastermind. Well, I guess. But is that really possible?
Well, Monokuma?
I can't answer that without causing problems, cause I gotta run this trial fair and square. Even more reason to give us the answer. If you don't tell us the truth right now, you'll be an accomplice to Kokichi's lies. Does that sound like a fair game? Would you say that this class trial is fair? Yeah, tell us. Is Kokichi the real mastermind or not? No need to think about it. You're being way too forward, you know? Aren't you normally the forward one? Yeah. I mean, I don't mind, because that's probably part of your strategy, too. But in the interest of fairness, I suppose it's time to tell the truth. Unlike the lies you love so much, the truth should be impartial to everyone.
And what is that truth?
I'm not being controlled by Kokichi, because he's not the mastermind. What? Is that really true? Kokichi was just messing with you. I never once said he was the mastermind.
Then it was all Kokichi's lie.
Yeah, that's what that would mean. With the key from the last motive, he was the first to learn the truth of the outside world. Based on his deductions, he fabricated a lie to make you think he was the mastermind. I see. Kokichi's own deductions. Do you want to know? Then I'll tell you. I'm getting kind of bored with all the lying, so everything I say from now on will be the truth, okay? His deductions got a lot of details right, though. Pretty impressive, honestly. But what about the exisouls? If Kokichi wasn't the mastermind, how could he control them so easily? He just used Mew's remote control, right? Mew's remote control? So the remote that Kokichi was using was made by Mew? Oh, you didn't know? Mew not only invented the electro bomb and the electro hammer, she also made a remote control that it can hijack any wireless device. Kokichi just slapped a receiver on each of the exisouls and took them for a spin. Hey, isn't that a bit unfair to tell them all that? Fairness has nothing to do with it. I offered up that info purely out of spite.
Spite toward you, of course, for trying to usurp the mastermind's role and take over the game. Well, whatever. It's way more interesting to defeat an enemy who plays dirty anyway. What's going on? What's going on? It seems like they're actually fighting. There's no doubt about it. Kokichi isn't the mastermind. Were we just being dragged around by Kokichi's lies the whole time? What were you trying to accomplish by pretending to be the mastermind, Kokichi? Nyeh. Now you're gonna be all quiet? This is so frustrating.
Then if he's not the mastermind, who is?
Why are you so certain there's even a mastermind to begin with? What? What do you mean? Why, that's on a need-to-know basis, and you don't need to know. But I want to know. The real mastermind is not Kokichi. Who could it be? I was thinking it was Junko and Oshima, but that can't be it. She's dead. We've never come into contact with her. I mean, her being dead didn't stop her in the second game. If so, who's done this? Who planned this killing game? Anyway, this conversation's flown off the rails. Let's get things back on track. This class trial's to figure out who the culprit is, not the mastermind. So yeah, get to talking. I agree. Before we worry about who the mastermind is or what my intent is, let's figure out the culprit.
But Monokuma doesn't know who it is. How is he supposed to confirm the results?
We don't need to worry about that. Let's just leave the decision-making to Monokuma. But you gotta run the class trial too, so no mistakes, okay? You trying to get me to do something? You've been watching us all solve these cases, but you can't be a spectator anymore. You're gonna participate in the class trial from here on out. Huh? So let's resume this class trial. Monokuma, you gotta use your brain too. This'll be the final class trial. Me versus Monokuma. You versus Monokuma? When I play a game, I intend to win. But what's considered winning in this game? Beating the other players? No. Beating the game's mastermind is the true victory. And that's how I'll win. That's why I decided to challenge Monokuma. If I can deceive Monokuma till the very end, then I'll be the winner. You're dragging us all around like this just so you can win a game?
As I suspected, your thought process defies all logic.
But since the outside world's in total ruin, this game's the only entertainment we have. At least I can enjoy this game to the fullest and feel good winning.
You really are a remnant of despair. Your way of thinking is just chaotic.
Remnant of despair? Yeah, whatevs. Let's just get this started. If the students or Monokuma don't know who the culprit is, then I'm the win... Don't underestimate me. Or Shuichi or the others for that matter. What? It's just like a remnant of despair to try and assume control of the game. But these kids are all that's left of Hope's Peak Academy. If you think they're gonna make this easy for you, you better think again. Whose side are you taking here? Side? Isn't it obvious? Monokuma joins your party. Oh shit. Oh shit! Yeah, who invited you? Now let's join forces and unravel the truth behind this case. Well, we were gonna do it anyway.
Let's just ignore Monokuma. His actions are always beyond comprehension.
Yeah, let's just focus on the case. Hey, be quiet so we can ignore you. Now, where should we start? We've already established what Kokichi is after. He's just gonna keep talking anyway, isn't he? In my experience, whenever you learn a new fact, you learn something else along with it.
Yes, let's look for that.
You warmed up to him real fast. I guess you aren't both robots. So another truth comes out. That piece of evidence makes more sense now. The evidence that I couldn't wrap my head around. Oh yeah, I guess the Monokuma file. How do you know about that? We need evidence of what I don't know about. What the fuck? Oh yeah, the video. Let's discuss the video of Kaito being crushed by the hydraulic press. Kokichi said he filmed that video to prove he was not the victim. But we know that Kokichi was trying to mislead Monokuma, so what about the video? It's pretty strange to present evidence that condemns you, after all. Then what kind of mistake was Kokichi trying to get me to make?
Maybe he crushed Kaito with a hydraulic press so the cause of death would be unknown.
But if that were the only objective, there'd be no need to film it. Discovering the crushed body would have been enough. No need to show us the film. That's true. I guess you're starting to fit in after all. If you get any cuter, I'm gonna hug you. Huh? Really? There must be a reason you went out of your way to show us the body being crushed. No reason, really. That's just my twisted, fucked up personality. You're lying again, Kokichi. There's a method to your madness. If you wanted Monokuma to make a mistake, then showing us the video, it must have something to do with trying to fool Monokuma. Taking the video of the murder but keeping the victim's identity hidden. What does it show? What doesn't it show? Oh shit, another Hangman's Gambit this early? The victim. No. There we go. Okay, give me an M. The victim.
Huh?
Is it even possible? No, that's a question for later. For now, we know that if you show the moment of Kaito's death, of course it would lead us to believe he died. Even if we can't positively identify the body, we would still believe Kaito was the victim. And that might be exactly the mistake Kokichi was going for.
Does that mean the victims were switched?
Nyeh, switched? Then it was some other dead body that got crushed by the hydraulic press?
What?
Where would he even get another body?
There should be plenty to choose from if you reuse the body of a former victim.
If there was an unknown body, then I guess the victim... then we could guess the victim was switched. But too bad. Switching the victims was impossible. The footage showed the body being crushed. When in the footage would they have been able to switch the victim? And we already established that the footage was not doctored in any way. The camera doesn't have any editing functions. Just play, record, and pause. Monokuma also said that no computer was used to edit the footage, remember? Damn it, me and my big mouth. Which means switching out the victim would not be possible. Also, if the victim was switched, then that would mean Kaito is still alive. We already discussed this so many times. The chance of that happening is
I think they paused it right when they paused it right when the press was covering the, like, was obscuring the body. So, like, when you could no longer see Kaito's facial features.
It might be possible.
Huh?
There could be a trick to make the switch possible. We just haven't noticed it yet.
No? And what trick is that? See? You don't know, do you? I already said it's impossible. Maki's not wrong. There is a way it could be done. So we can't just give up here.
Hey, Shuichi, I'll think harder about this as well. So, can you confirm whether or not the victim switched places? If Kaito is alive or not?
Maki.
I don't like the thought that I killed Kaito. I don't want that.
Okay then, let's talk about the possibility that Makiro mentioned.
Himiko, if you call her that again...
Yes, please.
Oh, okay. Then let's talk about it then let's all talk it over together. Together.
Don't forget, you're not alone. Don't try to do everything yourself. It's only gonna wear you out. When times are hard, you gotta rely on your friends.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll figure something out. Jeez, you guys are a stubborn bunch. There's no trick. That's probably another lie.
However, if the victims were switched, then that would mean the footage was altered. How could it have been altered when we know that the footage wasn't edited?
If we could figure that out, maybe we'd know how they switched places.
I knew there was a trick to that video the whole time. Kokichi made it, so it's 100% suspicious.
A trick to that video? What could it be? What's suspicious about it? Okay, murder video. Okay, no editing function. Technically true. Okay, that wasn't it. You agree, right, Shuichi? You can't see things well at that angle. But I don't know how that helps us. Okay. I think I know what statement I have to shoot. No. Shit.
You think so too, right, Shuichi? The hydraulic press wouldn't stomp when I lay underneath it, but it did stomp for Kaito. This is obviously robophobia. I'll never forgive that bigoted hydraulic press.
Okay. Time to consult the walkthrough again. Okay. So I had the right statement, just the wrong truth bullet.
BAM!
Kibo's onto something. Isn't it weird that the hydraulic press stopped for a second? Because when Kibo and I first investigated that hydraulic press...
Yes, that's right. The hydraulic press kept lowering itself without stopping.
But in the video...
The hydraulic press stopped briefly, right before it crushed the body.
But why would it stop? Why'd the press stop? There's only one reason I can think of.
And they paused the video. Okay. Shit. Okay, I don't think that was it anyway. Okay, that wasn't it. There are only so many possibilities. The only way to stop the hydraulic press is the force stop button.
An electro bomb went off in the hangar, which would have interfered with the safety function. There'd be no way to stop the hydraulic press unless someone used the force stop button. When you say someone, you mean Kokichi, right? He was the only one there.
Actually, maybe I pressed it by accident. I don't really remember. So what of it? The press only stopped for like a sec. You can't switch the victim in such a short time, you know? That's true. There's also the question of how the bodies got switched while the camera was rolling. That would have clearly been caught on camera. I'm telling you, they paused it while the camera was rolling. Ah, I see. It wasn't just the press that stopped. Eh? Huh? What do you mean? If you stop something else at the same time you stop the hydraulic press... Yes, I see it now. That's how the bodies were switched. If you stopped that, you could have swapped the bodies easily.
Really? I have to do a whole other Mine segment just to say he paused the fucking video? Okay, it wasn't the electro bomb.
The culprit stopped the video camera at the same time as the hydraulic press. Then, while the camera was off, they switched the body under the hydraulic press. After the body was swapped, the press and the camera started simultaneously. So it just looks like the press stopped for a moment. That's what I've been saying this whole time. That's what I was telling you before. When did you ever say that? So they stopped at the same time. The camera position did seem odd to me. But now I get it. The trick wouldn't work unless it was set up there. Huh? Why? To get the trick we just described to work, the camera had to be set up precisely. Let's pin that down. Where was the camera set up? Right. It was on one of the exosols. Maybe it was set up on one of the exosols. That's pretty far away. You wouldn't be able to stop both at the same time. From the control panel. The video camera must have been set up somewhere around here. To operate the press and the camera at the same time, it would have to be near the switch. That's why the video was taken from that unnatural angle. If they were recording it like normal, they would have used a better angle.
And if it was recorded at such an odd angle, then that proves a trick was used.
Camera angles, huh? Looks like your cosplayer experience is finally useful. Well, cosplay doesn't really come up with all that much in class trials. There was a reason the camera was set up here, but also a reason for the height. When the press was stopped, you couldn't really see who was inside it, correct? That was intentional. The body's mostly hidden by the press, making the swap easier.
The camera must have been placed at such a high position so it would produce that angle.
I wonder if they used that tripod in the hangar to adjust the camera's height. Did they get that from the warehouse too? Jeez, that place is like a 4D pocket. You don't get to make that reference.
Then that logic is correct, right? Kokichi used that video angle trick and switched the victim in the hydraulic press. In that case, Kaito is...
Before he was crushed by the press, he was swapped with a different body. So Kaito's still alive, yet for like 5 minutes. Well, wait just a minute. What? But I just summed it up so nicely. Himiko, the different body you mentioned, what are you talking about? The bodies from the other cases. Kokichi's the mastermind, so he... Yeah, wait, the mastermind? Yeah, Kokichi isn't the mastermind, so... I don't think he'd be able to produce a body to switch out.
What? Well, Monokuma, do the rules allow for a body to be reused?
Very well, I'll answer that. You're giving in pretty easily. Well, it's crucial information to make the trial fair. This discussion's pointless if it's not clear what the culprit's allowed to do, right? You're a convenient mastermind, but I guess that makes defeating you worth my time. Now then, regarding the reuse of a dead body... That's impossible. All the dead bodies have already been thrown away. Thrown away?
The other bodies are gone? Then who did Kaito switch places with?
Kokichi and Kaito were the only ones in the hangar at the time. If they were the only ones present during the body swapping trick, then the real victim was... the two people who switched places in the hydraulic press. Yeah, the other person in the hangar. If it wasn't an old body, it could only be...
What's wrong, Shuichi? Who did Kaito switch places with?
Maki, I think I missed something very important here.
Something important?
If I have the timeline right, there were only 2 people in the hangar at the time, which means that something had to have been decided before. I have to pin that down. Can't let anything escape me this time. Oh shit. Okay, I know the first word is victim. Victim change? Shit. Oh, victim... Victim death? Shit. Okay. Victim helped. I can't believe I overlooked this.
What do you mean?
there were only 2 people in the hangar at the time the bodies were swapped. Which means they were working together. Huh? Working together? Only 2 people involved in the swap were the only 2 people involved in the swap were the victim and the culprit. The culprit was operating the camera and the hydraulic press while the victim lay inside. If they switched places while the press and the camera were stopped, then the person who turned the camera and the press back on was the original victim. To put it simply, both people operated the press and the camera at different times. An impossible trick, unless the victim and the culprit agreed to cooperate beforehand. The victim and the culprit cooperated? Is that even possible? It sounds bizarre, but perhaps that was the whole point. Commit a crime that was so confusing even Monokuma would be tricked. Jeez, this culprit's a real jerk. So have you realized who done it yet? The culprit of the case. If my detective work hasn't failed me, the culprit is inside that exisal. It can only be them.
Hate to say it. I didn't have to go all the way around.
The apparent victim we saw in the video was Kaito, which means Kokichi was operating the hydraulic press and camera at first. If the 2 of them switched while the press was stopped, then the culprit who started the hydraulic press again and crushed Kokichi must be Kaito. So the person inside that exisal isn't Kokichi. It has to be Kaito. What did you say? So the culprit for this case is Kaito Momota. That's what the Ultimate Detectives deduced, right? Kaito is the culprit? What? You're joking, right? You can't be serious. I don't want to believe it either, but it's the only way any of this makes sense. My detective works led me to the conclusion that Kaito is the culprit.
Is that true? Is Kaito really in there?
Hey, answer us. If you really are Kaito, then...
I'm the culprit.
Huh?
There's just no way that Kaito can still be alive. Because I'm the culprit.
Wait, you? But didn't you say...
I saw it with my own eyes. Kokichi drank the antidote that he stole from Kaito. There's no doubt that Kaito died, and he died because of my poison arrow.
But you told us you didn't want to kill Kaito and...
Yes, I never wanted to. I wanted to believe that I didn't kill him. But the truth speaks differently. In the end, I was just running away from the facts.
Huh? I don't understand.
I'm about to get into an argument armament with Maki.
Maki, are you trying to protect Kaito? If he's the culprit, you're trying to help him get away?
There was only one antidote, so it's more likely he died from my poison arrow. This is the truth.
It's not decided yet. I could have still killed him with the hydraulic press. Either way, those are the 2 options. Monokuma knows the answer, right? Huh? Are those the only options? I guess that's how things turned out. No, that can't be. The person in that exisal is...
It's not Kaito. I saw Kokichi drink the antidote. There's no mistake. Kaito is dead. I killed Kaito. There's absolutely no doubt. That's the truth.
I thought so. Maki's trying to protect Kaito. I understand how she feels, but if Kaito is the culprit, why did he agree to Kokichi's plan? I can't imagine that Kaito would do something so selfish. There must be a reason for it. I truly believe that... But I have to get to the bottom of this before I can uncover that truth. But Maki, you don't know for certain that Kokichi drank the antidote.
What?
You saw him drink it right in front of you, but you couldn't confirm he actually did it. So maybe there's another possibility.
What are you talking about? Impossible. That's impossible. There's no other possibility. I killed Kaito.
Alright, here goes. Shit.
Whew.
Here we go.
I saw Kokichi drink the antidote.
Pretended to drink the antidote.
Kokichi just pretended to drink the antidote. He didn't actually drink it.
He pretended to drink it?
Drinking the antidote was part of his lie. Maki could only see so much through the window. She didn't confirm Kokichi drank it. I believe that Kokichi knew this and just pretended to drink the antidote. After Maki left, he gave the antidote to Kaito. There's a strong possibility that all of this was done to make Kaito cooperate.
Make him cooperate?
The swapping trick required the victim and culprit to work together. Kaito's cooperation was essential to Kokichi's plan. However, I don't think Kokichi would be able to sway Kaito easily. He needed leverage. He gave Kaito the antidote in exchange for his cooperation.
In exchange for his own life, you mean?
Kaito had no choice. He had to cooperate after Kokichi saved his life. That's just Kaito's character, and Kokichi knew that. He swallowed his pride with the antidote, and agreed to participate in Kokichi's plan. But didn't Kokichi make this plan? What good is it for him if he's dead? I imagine this was all part of Kokichi's plan to confuse us. Ugh. You wouldn't think that you wouldn't think that someone would plan their own murder.
You'd think.
He went so far as to give up his life, just to create this mystery?
Only Kokichi could think of something so nefarious. Who else would agree to die just to execute their plan? He's crazy. Why would he go that far? I bet Kokichi was determined to beat me at my own game no matter what. But too bad, Shuichi figured out the truth. Truth? Are you not sure it's delusion? Delusion? A delusion completely off the mark to make you think that I died. But who cares what you guys think? This is between me and Monokuma. I don't give a crap if the extras in this game get it right or not. Extras? I'm fine with being an extra. Huh? Why? If we're just extras, then even if we get it wrong, we won't get killed. No, I'll still kill you all. Don't put Kokichi's words in my mouth. What? But why? You were being so friendly with us. If Monokuma gets it right, then he takes everyone's lives, yeah? But if Monokuma gets it wrong, then he'd have no right to take everyone's lives. If Monokuma doesn't know who the culprit is, then this killing game can't function anymore. Can't function anymore. Kaito, I believe in you. If you're cooperating with this plan, you must have a reason. To determine that reason, I need to reveal the truth. I still think Kaito is the culprit. Thinking of it that way makes all the pieces fit. I'll show you the truth you can't deny. Oh shit. Okay. So, it's time to start the... I thought there was going to be, like, one more debate or something before the closing argument, but, yeah, I guess... I think I fucked up. So, yeah, see you next episode. I'm gonna start it right after I say all this. Okay, bye.